A long time ago, in a land far away, there lived a woman from Shunammite. She was well known, not because she was rich or influential, but because of her big heart. She loved helping people. Now, every year, the prophet of God, Elisha, would travel through Shunem on his way to a nearby city. The people of Shunem knew about this, and they also knew that Elisha was a special person. They recognized that he had a close relationship with God. This woman from Shunem was particularly interested in meeting him. She had heard many amazing things about Elisha, and she wanted to learn more about God and how to live a good life. So every time Elisha visited Shunem, this woman would invite him to her house for a delicious meal. She treated him like a king and made sure he felt welcome. But she wanted to do more. One day, she told her husband, "Elisha is coming soon. We must prepare a special place for him to rest. Come, let's build a small room on top of our house. Let's put a comfortable bed, a nice table and chair, and a lamp so he can read. This way he can relax and stay with us whenever he wants." Her husband agreed, and together they built the room and furnished it exactly as the woman had planned. When Elisha arrived, he was very happy to see them. He accepted their invitation to stay in the room and eat their food. He stayed there several times, enjoying their company and their care. After one visit, Elisha decided he wanted to reward them for their kindness and generosity. As he was leaving, he told his servant, "Return to the Shunammite woman. Tell her, 'You have been very kind and generous to me. You didn't need to prepare a special place for me or bring me expensive gifts. Your kindness is a blessing. Then I will grant her request.'" The servant followed Elisha's instructions and told the woman what he had said. She replied, "I've only done what any decent person would do. Please don't say any more about it." But the servant insisted, "Tell me what you would like. If you want money, gold, silver, maybe something for your family or a new house, tell me your wish." The Shunammite woman thought for a moment. She had always dreamed of having a son. She and her husband were getting old, and it seemed too late for this dream to come true. But she didn't want to be greedy and ask for more than God might be willing to give. So she decided to pray about it. "Please, God," she prayed, "give me a son. I know it's too late, but you are the God of impossible situations. I leave it in your hands. If you think it's right, please grant me this last wish." After she finished her prayer, she went back to the servant and said, "Please go back to Elisha and tell him, why bother asking me for a wish? I can't have a son at this age. I am old. And if I'm going to have a son now, it will be a miracle from God. If you really want to give me a gift, please tell me if God will think this is okay." The servant went back to Elisha and told him exactly what the woman had said. Elisha considered this for a moment. He knew that the woman was a good and generous person, and that she truly feared God. He also understood her desire for a son, and how important it was to her. After thinking about it, Elisha decided to grant her wish. He spoke a blessing over her, saying, "Around this time next year, you will hold a son in your arms." The Shunammite woman was surprised and very happy. She bowed down before the servant and thanked him. But she also realized the difficulty of what Elisha had just promised her. She was an older woman, and it wasn't easy to get pregnant at this age. She knew that having a baby would be a miracle, so she went home and waited patiently for a year to pass. Exactly 12 months later, she became pregnant. She didn't want to get excited too soon. She knew that many unexpected things can happen during pregnancy, but month after month, she continued to feel the baby growing inside her. Finally, she gave birth to a healthy baby boy. She couldn't believe her dream had come true. As the boy grew, he became a source of great happiness for her and her husband. They loved him very much. The Shunammite woman often remembered the miracle that had happened and how God had answered her prayers. She was filled with gratitude. Many years passed, and the boy grew into a strong and happy young man. Every day he helped his father with work in the fields. They lived a simple but good life together. The Shunammite woman was thankful for every moment she had with her son. She knew that even though she was old, she had been blessed beyond anything she could have imagined. One day, the Shunammite woman and her husband were working in the wheat fields with their son. It was hot outside, and the boy started to feel unwell. He said, "Oh, my head hurts. I feel sick." His father told a servant, "Quickly help him and bring him back home to his mother. Hurry!" The servant picked up the boy and carried him home. As soon as the boy arrived, the Shunammite woman cradled him and tried to make him feel better. She looked after him until noon. But unfortunately, the boy didn't improve. Instead, he suddenly stopped breathing and died in his mother's arms. The Shunammite woman couldn't believe what had happened. She couldn't understand why her son, who had been healthy and happy just a moment ago, was now dead. But instead of crying and feeling sorry for herself, she quickly got up and took action. She told her servant, "Get my donkey ready, put on all its ornaments and harness. Don't drive it slowly. Only stop when I tell you to." She then left her husband and went to Mount Carmel, where the prophet Elisha lived. As she journeyed, she kept thinking about how she could save her son. Finally, she saw Elisha in the distance. She called out to him, "Sir, please help me." Elisha turned around and recognized the Shunammite woman. He asked his servant, Gehazi, to wait a moment so he could talk to her. When Elisha approached the woman, he asked, "What is it that you want?" The Shunammite woman fell down before him and begged, "My lord, I didn't ask for a son. I didn't want to cause trouble for you. Why did you promise me this? Now my son is dead." She expressed her sadness and frustration. But Elisha wasn't upset with her. He understood how much her son meant to her and how painful it was to lose him. Elisha decided to help her and bring her son back to life. He stood up, walked into the room where her son was lying, closed the door, and began to pray. After a while, he came back out. He signaled for her to come closer and whispered something in her ear. Then he went back into the room and lay down beside her son. The Shunammite woman waited anxiously, hoping for a miracle. Moments seemed to stretch on forever. Finally, Elisha got up and told the woman, "Bring water from the Jordan River and pour it on the boy." As she returned with the water, Elisha told her to hold her son and dip him into the river 3 times. "Then take him out and put him on my bed." The woman did exactly as Elisha instructed. Just as she laid the boy on the bed, Elisha performed a special action. He stretched his body over the boy's, covering him completely. Then he began to breathe gently on the boy, moving his mouth as if he were talking. Everyone waited in silence. The Shunammite woman believed in Elisha, but she couldn't understand what was happening. Suddenly, the boy sneezed 7 times, and everyone was amazed to see that he had come back to life. The woman rushed to pick up her son, tears of joy streaming down her face. She hugged him tightly, thanking God and Elisha for bringing him back. Everyone rejoiced and praised God for the miracle. The Shunammite woman learned that sometimes God works in ways that we don't understand, and that even in difficult situations, hope and faith can lead to amazing outcomes.